All right, everybody, thanks for joining us on the Macomb County Spotlight. It's Jimmy Nelson with Brookstone Realtors, joined with Joe Pantaleo with America's Back Office. And Joe, I just want to thank you for coming on the Macomb County Spotlight with us and joining us. And so just talk to me a little bit about America's Back Office and what you guys do.
Well, first of all, Jimmy, thank you very much for inviting me to be part of your show here. So America's Back Office is it's known in the industry as a professional employer organization. We're located in Sterling Heights on Lakeside Circle, just outside of the Lakeside Mall, on the outside part of the mall. And what we are is an HR outsource company. And we have probably 600 to 700 clients in all 50 states, including Puerto Rico, Guam, and the Virgin Islands. So what we do is we offer, if you think about the big three, right? Ford, GM, Chrysler, they have a Fortune 500 HR department internal. So they have a payroll division, a workers' comp division, a benefits division, a division for governmental compliance, and then a tax division. And what we are is we're set up just like that, but we sell our services to small to medium-sized companies. And what I mean by small to medium-sized, my smallest client is one employee, and our largest client is about 800. Okay.
So really, it's a professional employment organization, right? And so some of the services you provide are your human resources. You do payroll, workman's comp, all those kind of things. So you're just helping out small, like you said, small businesses.
Yeah, our company was founded in 1998, I believe, by David Otto, who's still the current owner. And the whole concept of the professional employer organization is to help support and provide the benefits of a large organization to small to medium-sized companies. What I mean by that is we're able, because of the way the IRS designates our business, we're able to pool our clients together from to shop and have some scales of economy to shop workers' compensation and benefits. So, we have a master plan through Blue Cross and Blue Shield, another one through Excellent, but it actually uses the Cigna network for healthcare. So, a lot of our clients now has the capabilities to have discounted or group rates, if you will, for healthcare through Blue Cross Blue Shield that they couldn't afford to if they went to market by themselves. A lot difference of having 25,000 people behind your buying power than 10, 15, 20. And then the same thing as it relates to workers' compensation. The beautiful thing too for our clients is that we do all the administration. Our goal is to take the HR burden off your desk and put it on ours. And we have a great staff internally. Our directors are phenomenal. Mary DeLuca in the payroll division, who's our director of payroll. She's been in the PEO payroll space for almost 30 years now. There's nothing from a payroll that she hasn't seen. She laughs. We joke about it real quick, and she's had, back in the day, she had people fax in their payroll. But today we have a state-of-the-art HRIS system called Prism HR that automatically allows our clients to upload payroll with one touch of a button. Todd Keller is our director of HR, and he's been around in the HR space for about 28 years. In fact, he teaches an HR class at Phoenix University. And then Anthony Sabatella is our director of workers' compensation. He's got about 9 years in the space. He's very sharp, very, I don't want to say the word shrewd, but he knows business very well at a very high level. And he's constantly figuring out what is the best way to position ourselves from a workers' compensation standpoint to bring that benefit to the client from a cost standpoint. And then we handle all the claims management. if there's set up safety policies, do safety inspections. Joanne Jones, our director of benefits, her team and her do an amazing job from our 401k with Transamerica, our healthcare benefits, like I said before, Blue Cross Blue Shield, short-term, long-term disabilities, life insurance, all the ancillaries. I personally love my Flex account. Flex savings account is a pre-taxed account that loads on a card, if you will, like a just regular card. And when you go buy your doctor's visit or prescriptions, you use that card and you save about 30%. So for me, I put about $2,700 on it at the beginning of the year, and it's just taken out of my paycheck each time. But I have the $2,700 credit on it. And so that saves me 30%, which is $900 a year, just on medical cost for deductible or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we have a great team.
Any savings is good savings, right?
Yeah. So, when we do the analysis typically between workers' compensation, healthcare, saving our clients time, time is money, right? If a key employee or the owner of the company is on the phone with the unemployment office discussing an unemployment claim or a work comp claim, he's taking his time, her time away from their business. And when they take time away from the business gets stagnated. So our goal is to take that burden off their desk, put it on ours, so they can focus in on their core competencies and grow their company and grow the company's bottom line.
Yeah, anything to help streamline the business, right? I mean, that's the goal. And I think a lot of people don't understand the burden that small business owners have when it comes to this type of thing, right? And you can hire someone to come in and do that, but then you have to pay that person, right? So then you have to pay their benefits again. So it's just another, it increases so much.
Well, when you think about if you're a company and you're, and I'm not trying to, there's a time and a space for companies, right? But if you're going to hire an HR person, you're talking $60,000 to $75,000, $80,000 for that, and then you got the benefits, time off, things along those lines. Where our services, you're from a cost analysis standpoint, is much more cost effective. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a time when you grow as a company and you get to a size, maybe it makes more sense to bring somebody in 200-300 clients. Like some of my clients that are larger clients have a dedicated HR person in place, and we act as their staff. And another way to think of it is that these are all services and that you have to provide. You have to provide payroll, you have to provide workers' compensation. So what do? You find different vendors, multiple vendors to handle that. Payroll company, this guy here, this agent here, things along that lines. And what we are is a single source vendor. So we work well for the small client and we work well for the larger client, because now you don't have to completely build that infrastructure. You might build a piece of it, but now you have a single source vendor, which creates efficiencies. If you're going to onboard somebody, right, a new employee comes on, well, that's got to go to the payroll company, then the benefits, and then over there. With us, it's one contact point, and then we take care of that whole process of onboarding the employee. So it creates a lot of efficiencies for small and medium-sized companies.
Yeah, I'm sure. And knowing the business side of things, like the streamlining everything is much easier. So, I'm sure your services are very, very wanted by a lot of companies.
Well, here's the thing, and this is the amazing thing, and this is why I love this industry. Right now, based on statistics, we have less than 3% of market penetration. So as one of the people, one of my clients said is, ABO is the best kept secret out there. And so, how do you market to people and get them to know about your services? So our company, is on Facebook, LinkedIn. We have some email campaigns, but the key is to get in front of people, educate them about our service model, and see if it makes financial sense for them.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah. And so since we've been in these different times, right, and we're these trying times where we're staying locked in place, how has that affected your business?
Well, so, obviously we work with businesses. So some of our clients, this has been business as normal, right? It depending on their industry. There's no one industry that we service. We service a multitude of different types of industries. Our food and beverage clients, they've taken a hit. The beauty supply or salon business has also taken a hit. So, for them, what we've been able to do though is put them in a position to take advantage of the Government Relief Act, CARES Act, and the PPP. So what happens is this: we're experts in these fields, right? So our job is when these things were starting to come about, our team, our director team, got together, did all the seminars, webinars, educated themselves, and said, okay, what does this mean for our clients? Because again, we're their HR department. And so what we did is we realized through the education process of saying, if you're going to apply for the PPP loan, what is that going to mean, right? And what that means is you need to have these specific records in place. So when you fill out the application and upload it to the bank, that it's a smooth, efficient process. One of my clients who did that, he started his company last summer, right? So he's been in business for 9 months, and it's in the salon business. He has a salon business, and boom, shut down. So he's like, what do I do? So we reached out, we communicated, we helped him, had 5 pieces of information that he needed, and only 5, that he filled out his application, put those 5 pieces in, out to the bank, and within 4 days, he had his funds for the PPP loan. It was funny, I was talking to a banking friend of mine, and she's going nuts right now. I mean, she's working sometimes 24 hours. Some people are uploading every piece of material. And, she said this one person had an application in, and they had 300 pieces of information, all the canceled checks, all this information that was needless, but because it's part of the application, they have to go through that process. So you talk about a drain of time and energy and efficiency right there. But that's one of the benefits that we've been providing for our clients is the education, the expertise on how to move forward during this pandemic shutdown, COVID-19 time. Then the other part of that now is we're starting to see a little bit of relaxation, if you will, reopening. So what does that mean next? As it relates to how policies are going to be handled for HR. A lot more remote working right now. I work from my office here at home too. So what does that mean? So how does policies interact with that? What do we do? And our team's been doing a great job of communicating, educating, redoing employee handbooks, talking with our clients and making sure that when it's time to go and reopen, that they're in the best position possible to move forward.
Yeah, and that's going to be huge, I think, on the other side of this when we get back to work is how do you ramp that up again? And I think especially the services you guys provide for small business is going to be so helpful because what does that look like for payroll? What does that look like for 401s? What does it look like for benefits? I mean, so many things go into that. And I think a lot of small business owners are really good at what they do, skill-wise, but not necessarily at the HR piece. And that's just because it's a tough business, right?
I was talking to a friend of mine on Zoom the other day in a morning meeting group, and we were having a conversation, and he's a new associate or a friend of mine, if you will. And we were sitting there talking, and he says, well, what do you do, Joe? And so I told him, and he goes, man, I could use your services. He says, when this all hit, he's a dentist, and he's like, I had no clue what to do. And I said, well, when you're ready to reopen, let's have a conversation, right? So, we service a lot of different industries, from the medical, dental area, food and beverage, golf courses, salons, industrial, light industrial, heavy industrial. Again, clients from 1 to 1,000 use our services. So, that variety allows for a lot of interaction and understanding on how businesses work, especially in multiple different industries. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I just heard that here in Michigan, they've lifted the ban on golf courses.
Yep.
The restriction there. So, that's going to allow some of my clients to start to open up again. But what does that look like? We talked about even having conversations about, well, how do we keep our clients safe that come out? And one of the things, I talked to them about, because I'm an avid golfer too. I was like, listen, one of the areas of contact that people are going to have, you're playing by yourself or maybe in a twosome, but you're keeping some social distancing. But where are you going to interact at? Well, you're going to interact probably on the tees and the greens, right? So, one of the things that we talked about on the greens, instead of having a cup in deep into the hole where everybody's putting their hand in, just have the cup raised. So the ball will hit the cup and bounce off, and then you can pick up your own ball, and you're not putting your hand in where somebody else put their hand in. So things along those lines of, conversations that we have with our clients. Say, hey, we're not just talking about the employees. We've helped a number of employees file for unemployment claims, things along those lines. But also their clients. So we cover the bases with the employees, the employer, and the clients of the companies.
Yeah, that's a great point, because sometimes it's reading the label from the outside, not the inside, right? A lot of businesses, we're in our business and we got our head down and we're grinding, but we don't always necessarily think about what the outside looks like, and that's one of the services you provide.
Well, a good friend of mine owns Fern Hill, and guy that I went to elementary school with, and he's a client too. Hopefully none of my competitors are watching this. I'm going to call them. Good luck with that. Anyways, but he's an outstanding chef. Okay, and he's gone to schools to be a chef and culinary school, culinary arts, and things along that lines. And he's really good at that. Well, he doesn't know much about workers' compensation, okay, or benefits, and how to position his company in those areas. So that's one of the reasons why our services create a lot of value for our clients, because they stay on their core competency, and we help them with the back part of the office so everything runs smooth, so they can focus in on what they do well.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, that's super important, because like I said, we read that bottle. We're each one of us are in our own business and we're doing our thing, and then we don't necessarily think about all those other things that arise through benefits and 401s and payroll.
Payroll taxes.
Yeah.
Unless you're a CPA and have gone to school for that, or understanding how that whole thing works is sometimes a mystery. And reporting that to the state and making sure the state doesn't screw it up, or if you're in multiple states, you're dealing with multiple state entities. If you're, I've got a client that's in 13 different states, try to keep track of all the laws and regulations of 13 different states and still run your business.
Yeah.
That's the reason why they have us there.
Yeah.
We take care of all that for them.
Okay. Yeah. And so you guys are in Sterling Heights on Lakeside Circle. Where else can we find you on the internet?
We're on LinkedIn, and again, it's America's Back Office. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook. You can reach out to me directly at 586-530-8676. Our website is americasbackoffice.com. And the S is in there, no apostrophe, but you can, find us there. Or like I said, again, if you have questions or concerns, you can call me directly at 586-530-8676.
Okay. Yep. And all that information is right below you, and we can find you there. So, hey, Joe, I appreciate it. What do you got? Any last words for anybody before we get off here?
Yeah. Here's the thing about this time is, it's easy to panic. And that's why it's called a pandemic, right? we're going to get through this, right? We got to be patient. We got to be smart. Got to be educated. Business is going to come back. It's going to look a little different, but it's going to come back. We've gone through, '08. There was crisis there. We've had crises before, and this is another crisis. But in the same aspect, relax, stay focused. I would say if you haven't done any self-education during these times, to do some of that, pick up some new skills, but just relax. It's going to bounce back. It's going to take a little bit, but it's going to bounce back, and everybody's going to be humming along probably as good as we have been, if maybe not even better.
Yeah, I agree. And again, I thank you for all the things that you do for small business and keeping everybody moving along here and getting out of. As soon as we come out of this thing, I'm sure we'll be fine. And again, it's Joe at America's Back Office. If you guys have any questions, all the information is right below us here. So reach out if you had any questions, and I'm sure Joe will be able to take care of you. We'll talk to you soon, Joe. I appreciate you for coming on the Macomb County Spotlight. And we will talk to you soon. Again, thanks, everybody. Again, it's Joe, America's Back Office. We'll talk to everybody soon. Thank you.
Thanks, Jimmy. Take care. Bye-bye.